Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles does not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of the United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law. One, two, three. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1. Shalom, shalom, family. Shalom again. Wow, man, we back. It took a few weeks. Took a few weeks, family. I'm not sure, man. I'm sure some of y'all don't even know. I guess, X twice already. Apparently, there's an issue with speaking about, I guess, I don't know, the alphabet team or however you guys want to say it. So yeah, I got my I guess my second one. Apparently, after the second or third one, that's it. The channel's done. So I don't know. I'm gonna do my best, fam, to kind of keep it neutral. I guess I'm not sure how this whole YouTube works, man. It is what it is. Anyhow, all praises to you guys that are listening in now. If you are not, Lord willing, you catch this class and it becomes edifying for you. I really do appreciate the time, honestly, that I did take. I had to really go through some personal matters, but at the same time, family, I did experience a lot. These last 2 weeks have been difficult, spiritually. And I know we all battle. We all deal with issues. We all have our own, thorn in the flesh. We all have um, our, let's say, our weaknesses, and also the same things that become strength can also be very, um, can I say this? Can put us in the same position that we'd hate to be in. It's like, I don't know, some people call it pride. I mean, there's like two different types of pride. There's that pride, like, oh yeah, man, the pride where it's like proud to be a Hebrew, but then that pride that destroys you. So it's like, how do you balance it out? And when do you know you're wavering between the two? You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me bring this out, fam. In the class, literally, I wasn't really sure about the title. But the only thing I can consider is planned persistence and patience. And it relates to a fight or flight. You know what I mean? So planning, persistence, or patience, however y'all want to say it. But first, before anything, I'm gonna share this with y'all. And I know I brought this scripture out a lot. But honestly, especially in these times, I'm telling you, 2022 was hard, fam, for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people died. A lot of people went through a lot of mental issues. This disease, man, had a lot of a mental effect on several, on myself included. I never even really believed it, but there is such a thing as called brain fog, and I got it for several months. So, that being said, 2 Corinthians 13:5, it says, examine yourselves. So, the one thing I want y'all to remember is in every single walk of our life, and every single day right now, that you brothers and sisters, you Hispanics, you Hebrews, right? My beloved, you that are keeping the laws of God, don't ever stop examining yourself. That is the one thing you never ever want to do. Because the moment you think you got it, you don't. The moment you think you know, yeah, I know that about me, you don't. Then it says, whether ye be in the faith. But the most important thing right now, examine yourselves. I'm telling you, and it's an example, somebody that's been walking in this truth as best as I can, as imperfect as anybody can probably be. I'm nowhere near that. I'm 5 years, and I'm a 5-year-old child. You know what I'm saying? In this truth, so called. One of the things that is the most difficult for us to grow in this truth is when it comes to facing ourselves. Why do you think in Christianity or in every other religion, right? Most of these religions, okay? You usually see people say, oh, yeah, come to my church. Come to my church. Come to my building. Come to this school. There is such a thing as gathering yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. But when you start looking at why they want you to walk into a building, you really have to ponder the purpose behind it. You see, family, one thing we don't want to do is examining ourselves. So it's very easy to say, listen, man, come to this building, you'll find God. Come to this room, you'll find God. So that we go there and like, yeah, you're there. No, he's not there. Why do you think there's so much about examining yourself, about self-analyzation, about how trials make us what? Perfect. Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Now that process of proving is like you proving a friend. If you, let's say, for example, you want to get married, you want to prove your other significant, you got to prove that person in order to trust that person. If you cannot trust that person, you can't prove that person then. Right? You've done your actual job. Like, man, I can't trust this person. So again, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own self, meaning you still got to prove you. I had to deal with something like that. I had to face myself. It was a hard thing, but you know what? I had to do it. I couldn't walk in a building. I couldn't walk in a room. I couldn't go into like, oh, my mom's Christian church, I'm going to go there and pray and God will be there. No, because I had to sit there and be still and say, what the hell did I do? And I'm going to tell you something, fam. That is very hard to do because of fear, of resentment, old anger, self-pity, lack of planning, anxiety, because the didn't work out for you before. Man, I don't want to even think about that, man. No. Oh, but you have to, fam. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves. See, it says on the third part, know ye not, because you have to examine first. Then prove yourself through that examination. How that Jesus Christ is in you, meaning the perfection that he brought upon us. It is in here. It can be done. The only problem is when we become reprobate. Except ye be reprobates. You know when that happens? When you don't examine and you think you got it and you think you're good. Man, listen, I'm in a cakewalk, fam. I'm good, man. I'm doing classes, yada, yada, this and that, you know, blah, blah, blah. My home rep, bam. All of a sudden, man, it all becomes blurry. And then you look back. That's why I always talk about a foundation, a blueprint. If you don't have a blueprint or a foundation in this walk, you cannot go back and reset again, because you have to reset every single damn day. Unfortunately, it is what it is. This is the truth. This is the walk for you Hebrews. You guys want this? This is it. Ain't no sunshine and candies and soil pops and all that for us. No, man. This is the walk right here. Examining yourself in order for you to what? Kill this damn demon in there that dwells in your flesh. Because he ain't about to let you go. Not at all. His job of the flesh is to make us reprobates. And the problem is that when you don't even know, man, give me a second, fam. Let me just give me a quick second. Thank you, bro. I appreciate your patience. Sorry about that. I heard my dog out there. Anyhow, but I'm telling you, family, the enemy's job, I'll say enemy, to make us reprobate. And by doing that, not knowing it. See, that's the worst part. When you're flying the plane, let's say you're a pilot, God's sitting next to you, the Most High, and you're flying the plane, you're like, yeah, I'm good, man. And he's like, I'm messing up. No, you see, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but you know what I'm not doing? I'm not doing it. Yeah, I can keep the laws, for my friends. I can stop eating pork and all that stuff, right? But what is the hardest part? Looking at you. That's the hard part. Because you see all your failures, you see your mistakes, you see what you've done wrong, you see what you could have done different. That's the unfortunate part of the mind. And it always wants to bring us back to that reprobate state of mind. I'm going to show you something in a video. It kills me to show it, fam, honestly, because I'm not trying to make fun of them or any of this. But this is what happens when we don't have planning. We don't have patience. When we don't have those, we don't have persistence, first and foremost. But, you know, we do have destruction. And it's sad. Because when you have to hit rock bottom like this, you gotta realize, family, if you're hitting rock bottom like this, man, you gotta really think about how you are important to the Most High. Because he has not let you fall to that point. Watch this real quick.
Leaning? What are they on?
Most likely, when you see them leaning, they are fentanyl.
Because I've heard some people call this the city of zombies.
Yeah. This zombie land. All killers and shit, you hear me? They took over this whole area. Like, this they land right here.
Imagine being a single woman and you have somewhere to go around here. That would be tough, huh? So they call Philly the city of brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
Is it a friendly city?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
When did it lose the reputation of being
What?
friendly?
I mean, it's been like that since we was born. You f the wrong bitch in this city, somebody gonna want to do something to you. You make too much money, somebody gonna want to do something to you. You pull up in the wrong car, somebody gonna want to do
So there's
something
a crab in the bucket mentality?
Yeah, that's the way Philly is. Look, just get this footage like this with a train at. Like, imagine just going on a train. This is what you gotta go through to get on the train. Look, boom. You gotta get through that first. Boom.
The dude's injected into his armpit, dude.
Yeah.
I've never injected, but I don't think that'd be my
You never
first.
seen nobody do that?
Behind the leg,
I
arm,
done seen people
toes.
put their neck, they pussy, they eye.
I've tried some drugs in my day, but I don't think I ever want to do something that makes me.
What's up, young? This is the dangerous part down this joint.
You got a girl,
Yeah.
shit on TV, right there, smoke the nigga right
Yeah,
there.
she shot the boy in the joint.
Yeah.
Two people just
right
got
here.
dropped right there, yeah.
Across the street right there at that convenience store.
I feel like the more you see this, the more you say like your own body is special, you know, because you don't want to.
Yeah, but a lot of us come from families that had drug addicts. Yeah, like either mom was on drugs because the dad wasn't there, the dad was on drugs, and the mom, and they was fighting a lot. So we come from broken homes and drug use.
Broken homes and drug use. Broken homes and drug use. You know, that's the facts. A lot of us do come from broken homes and drug use or alcohol use. A lot of us do. And without any planning, with no Bible, with no guidance, without even knowing that we're supposed to like literally examine ourselves using the scriptures, we're not too far from that. I know that some of y'all think, oh yeah, you know what, man? They're physically feeling it. But if you aren't spiritually feeling some pain, if you're not going through no trials, man, I don't know about you. You have to really ponder on that, family. If you got no trials in your life, you think everything's good. And I don't know. Maybe you doing something right that we're not. But as far as I know, from my experience, from talking to several brothers and sisters, I could say hundreds. That's not very common in this walk. This is why the scriptures are made for someone like ourselves who is destroyed, who has problems, who comes from broken homes, who were given, let's say, for example, you were given the tools to be an electrician, but your job is to be a plumber. You got no clue on how to manage yourself. You were never taught how to be a man, now know how to raise a family, know how to love your wife, know how to treat your kids, how to teach them first and foremost, or even have what? Patience. And if you don't have no patience for your children, that means you got no patience for yourself. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. Let's go to John. First John. Let's start real quick. John chapter 2, verse 16. Lord willing, family, this is an edifying class because honestly, the Most High put it in my spirit. I had other classes in mind, but this was something that just came from the Spirit, fam. And I'm so grateful for the time that I took on this class because it really has edified me. And I cannot wait to look back at it again because there's nothing like bringing out the word because then the Most High speaks. This ain't me. 1 John 2:16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. I'm going to tell you this right now. A good brother of mine taught me something today. He said, there's 3 things I focus on, man. And I got rid of all the other crap because, he dealt with anxiety like I did, I guess, or I do. Honor your father, the Most High, guard your family, and bring the nation together. That was the most important thing I had heard today. I needed to hear that because me, myself, and I will go into many, many avenues of a bunch of BS that will lead me to nowhere, which is why I need to do this daily. Again, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, which is what? Pride. Pride cometh before everything, meaning it'll destroy you, family. Pride doesn't let you examine yourself. Pride is what gets you in trouble. Pride is what gets in the way of your decision making. If you can just let go of pride, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. But is of the world. Keep that in mind, fam. Galatians 6:3. Watch this real quick. I'm gonna bring some scriptures out. If y'all, I would suggest taking notes. Okay, let's read verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something, examine yourself. For if a man think himself to be something, nah, man, I'm good, bro. Like that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, look at me, I'm paying the bills. Done. No, that's not. You see, a lot of times we think we know what we're doing. We think we're walking the path of the Most High, and then He corrects you, and then it's time for you to really face yourself and actually have the inner examination, and you in between the Most High. It's like, yo, man, I need, man, be like, listen, man, when I pray, you guys can pray however you want. But when I pray, I have some serious prayers with Him because I need all the help I can get, all of it. And in this spirit of meekness and discipline, meaning, or humility, most important than anything. Because guess what? For if a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. Again, goes back to being a reprobate, not knowing. But you see, if you don't examine, and if you don't have patience with yourself, then guess what? You're going to deceive yourself. Because it says, but let every man prove his own work. Meaning what you are doing for the Most High. Again, prioritize, family. Prioritize. The number one thing you got to do is you plan. That's the one thing. But before you plan, you got to get rid of this whole pride. You got to get rid of pride. Because pride is going to destroy you. Again, but let every man prove his own work. And then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. That's a great scripture to use right now. Why? Because a lot of times that's what we actually count on, man. We glory in other people's success because we are too afraid to what? To plan, to examine, to have patience for ourselves. For every man shall bear his own burden. This is true. But again, for if a man think himself to be something, man, you are nothing. Nothing. Which is why the Most High always says, man, be humble. Be humble. Look at this. Verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. I'm going to tell you that right now, fam. And sometimes we don't even realize we are mocking Him. For whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So y'all got to be mindful. What exactly is what we're doing in this walk? What are we planting? What are we planning for? What are we working towards? Has anybody ever really thought about that? Because if you don't have an idea, if you don't know what your calling is, if you don't have no sense of direction, if you don't have a plan on how you're going to tackle each day, guess what? Proverbs 6:18, pride goeth before destruction. If you're told pride for the plan, nah, I got this, man. Who are you to tell me, man? I know what I'm doing. Pride goeth before destruction. And a haughty spirit before a fall. Meaning, if you don't have humility, it's going to destroy you. Look, better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoils with the proud. Someone's like, man, better to be humble and broke than be rich and prideful. Obviously, nobody wants to be broke. We all want to have something. But before that, man, you got to get rid of pride. I'm going to tell you that right now, fam. That's one of the things that's going to always destroy us. It's always going to put us in that particular bind, fam. 29, 23. Watch what it reads real quick. A man's pride shall bring him low. You see that? The pride is going to be the one that's going to kill you, family. So before anything gets done, man, y'all got to examine yourself that that's something that you're dealing with. And you got to understand what the word pride is too. Look it up. Look up the definition of pride. I'm not going to do it for y'all. I need y'all to do it. Look up the definition of pride. Find out if it's actually something that you're dealing with. Find out if it's a spiritual thing that you have to battle. Find out if it's something you're going to have to overcome. Because you know what? Realize it before it's too late. You'll be a reprobate. It's that simple, family. I'm only sharing this from experience. I'm not sharing this because, oh, yeah, y'all better do it. Oh, man. Again, confirm all the scriptures that I bring out. So, but again, it goes to show, fam. It goes to show how important it is to have the work done within. Pride. That's why you have to examine. Proverbs 29:18. Watch what it reads. Where there is no vision, people perish. But happy is he that keepeth the law. I'm sorry. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Again, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. So again, you gotta have a vision, man. What do you want out of this, man? Okay, you're called. The Most High called you. You're keeping the laws. What now? Are you idle? Are you just kind of like, going with the flow? Are you really doing the work? Are you making the changes? Are you battling your spirits? Or are you succumbing yourself to them? Submitting yourself to them? Because it's a lot easier? Gotta wonder, man. Gotta wonder. So that's why it's important. Where there's no vision, you don't see yourself. Well, like, for example, let's just say, and even in this life, right? You don't have a plan with your family. You're not going to have no direction, fam. If you don't have a structure with your home, everybody's going to be doing their own thing. And there's not going to be any unity, no growth, and you're not going to raise your children properly. Nor will you have a good relationship with your wife. You can't go on and take all these laws and Bible books and read all this and that and be independent without even showing your whole family what it is that you're supposed to be learning. So again, where there's no vision, if you don't have an idea of how you want your structure to be at your house regarding what it is, how you want to teach it, how often, what do you want to talk about, it's not gonna work out. You're gonna think you're gonna want to do it, but you don't do it. If you don't have a plan in whatever endeavor you want to take advantage of, whatever business you want to achieve, whatever job, whatever position, whatever other job you want to get, you're not gonna get it. So if you don't have a blueprint, if you don't have a foundation, if you don't have a vision as to what it is that you want to do for the Lord, and you want to see yourself that, man, you're not gonna achieve it. You're not gonna achieve it, man. That's why Sirach 37:16 says this. And you know why it says that? Because it's talking about particulars, like in regards. Oh, here, I'll read it. Sirach 37:16. Sorry. It says, let reason go before every enterprise. See, you got to really ponder on what you're going to do. Like, without a vision, perish. Let reason go before every enterprise. And counsel before every action, meaning it's 1 out of 1,000. Let's say, for example, the brothers, 1 out of 1,000 brothers, man, that you guys can really build with, and then bounce ideas off of. Hey, bro, you know what I mean? Scripture say this. What do you think? Wow, you know what I'm saying? It's important to counsel, fam. You cannot do this on your own. I know it sounds like you can, but you can't. You gotta have a second voice. Counsel with somebody that has done it before you. How did they manage it? Even if you've had experience in certain things, ask the brother before you. Like, yo, man, you'll handle that. Let me get your perspective on things. Or else, listen, fam, I'm telling you, these scriptures, whether you want to believe me or not, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to prove anything to y'all. I'm not here to convince one single one of you. It's up to you. I'm just sharing. Most High's allowing me to share. Even in this class, I haven't done a class in a couple of weeks, but even in my class, I was like, man, it's been a while. Most High, please, Father, speak to me, whatever, So it is what it is, fam. It's not me that's sharing this with you. This is the Most High. This is how He wants it to be said. My son, prove thyself in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. You know what that means, fam? That means that once you have a vision, once you have an enterprise, once you have a plan, you still got to prove that in this life, if that is actually something good for you or not. See what is evil for it, meaning, hey, that might be a good thing to do. Or I might be able to do that. Or I should go that route. But is it actually a wicked thing that you're doing it? Yeah, you know what? Like myself, I'm going to do these classes. If it's taking time away from my family, then what? Guess what? It's serving me no purpose. I'm not balancing myself. So what is it? It's evil. It's taking away from what is good in my home. And it says, give not that unto it. So again, it goes back to everything. My son, prove thy soul in thy life and see what is evil for it. So what is good and what is evil? So that when you examine yourself and you start seeing, yeah, that might have worked out. Maybe it might work out for him. It ain't gonna work out for me. Yeah, maybe that job is gonna help out, but it's too far. And I'm gonna be among my family, and I won't be able to study. So it ain't good for me. Sometimes you gotta, and pride gets in the way of this decision. Pride doesn't allow you to prove your soul. It doesn't let you see the evil that's before you. And it makes you give to that. That's what it does. Pride is blind, fam. Without a vision, without a plan, without examination, it's gonna always knock you down. I'm speaking from experience. And I'm telling you, I've had so many smacks in the face, man. I don't even know how I just pray. I thank the Father that He has given me the spirit of a freaking fighter, man. Because I should be giving up already. Sirach 7:36. Whatsoever thou take it in hand, remember the end. I always remember that. I always remember. At the end of the day, I have to do this. Thou shalt never do amiss. Remember the end in all that you do. Whenever you go through issues, going through those mental problems, when you're going through the examination, remember the end. Remember the purpose. Remember why you're doing it. You gotta have a purpose, family. That's why I appreciate you, brother, for prioritizing. Serve the Father first. If you're married, take care of your family. And last, focus on the nation. Everything else is gonna suck, fam. Because in this world, it is meant for destruction and distraction. It is meant to keep us from the word. It is meant to keep us in pride and full of vanity and lack of examination and lack of planning and instant gratification. That's what it does. That's what it's for. That's why it's important to plan, fam. It's important to plan. And with that plan comes persistence. If you don't have it, then it's pointless. If you don't have it, it's pointless. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to give you the opposite of what persistence does. Proverbs 27:1. Boast not thyself up tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. You see? Persistence, what it ends up happening is this, man. When you allow distractions to come in, when you allow worries to happen, when you take pride in your mind, like, hey, I did it today, I just won't do it tomorrow. Guess what? Boast not thyself of tomorrow. And you won't apply the daily regimen that is required in your plan, persistence that is needed in this walk, the consistent examination, the daily work. It is daily, family. I'm telling you right now, it is daily. For some of us, it's hourly. For some of us, it's every minute. It is what it is. Says it again, boast not thyself up tomorrow. Why? Because your work is not done today. Work is not done today. The day is not over. And it says, look, verse 2, let another man praise thee, not thy own mouth. A stranger, not thy own. See that, fam? But you see, pride, you want that. You want people to acknowledge you. Vanity. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I think people debate. You really think they want to do it for actual, like, edification? You think they really want to help their brethren? I don't know. I don't believe so. I don't believe that's for edification. What do you get out of two people debating? They're never gonna actually convince each other. And then you got these other guys on the side. Yeah, all right, here's $20, here's $50. What? What does that do for you? How did that spiritually help you? while you got a sick son in the house, or you have a wife that don't believe, or you got alcoholic problem, or you have a daughter that wants to whore out, or maybe wants to date. You have a son that doesn't even want to hear the Bible, where or maybe say, I don't know, a different situation. Maybe you have brothers that have they're all around you, right? But then you yourself are dealing with so much you don't know how to actually speak on it. Why? Because pride. Pride. Boasting. Thinking, acting as if, oh, I'm good. Like God said, like what is that scripture? Man, I can't remember right now, and I'm not gonna look for it. It talks about, God hates those that something about the rich man that thinks he's poor, the poor man that acts like he has more than he does. Something to that effect. Without examination, you will not be persistent because you will always be in arrogance, pride, vanity, confusion, and distraction. This is a daily walk, fam. That's why it says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, because you're not done today. Look what Matthew 23 says. New Testament. Matthew 23. 11. It says, but he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. See that, fam? You got to have that mindset. Then that right there applies to persistence, because you're actually doing something for someone else. You're not doing it for yourself. Because the moment it's for yourself, self-gratification, it didn't work. Oh my God, I hate this. And you don't have no direction. He that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. That's why, family. So do not think at any moment that you got it. Put your head down and get to work every single day on your plan, whatever it is. If you want to, battle these spirits that you're dealing with, examine, work daily. If you got to get a job, examine, work daily towards that plan. If you want to quit a particular substance, examine, work daily on that plan. Persistence, and never exalt yourself in that persistence, because when you think you got it, you don't. Look, Sirach says the same thing. Sirach 130. Watch what it reads. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall. And that happens when you stop applying the daily regimen that the Most High has given you. You exalt yourself and you think you good. And guess what? Verse 29. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men. That's what you become too. You're dealing with stuff, you're not even admitting it. Well, you're not examining yourself, you're teaching it. Remember, fam, this class goes for me too. I'm cutting myself as I'm speaking. Lord willing, I can continue to do that, because that's the only way I'm going to grow. As fleshly as I can be, as sinful as my spirit is attempting to push me. Yeah, I'm not my spirit, my flesh. Yeah. I need to make sure that I have a plan every day. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. What is that dishonor? Pride. Reprobate. I cannot imagine. I don't ever want to even think that once I stop dealing with me. I have nothing out there in the world. Nothing in the world has anything for me. I'm hella scared. So I'm glad I got my ass whooped. Excuse my language. And so God discovers thy secrets. You see that? Examine, plan, persistent. Don't stop. Daily work. And cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, meaning he'll embarrass you. Now you have to sit there and apologize and cry and ponder, oh my God, and examine it. Because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord. And what it ends up being, pride. But thy heart is full of deceit. That's why it says wisdom fleeth deceit, something to that effect, right? That's why this scripture is beautiful. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall. And then you bring dishonor upon your soul, not no one else. So God discovers thy secrets, because then basically he crush you, because you've been foolish. That's why. And cast thee down in the midst of the congregation. And then now you really are embarrassed, because you didn't come in the truth, because you didn't fear the Most High, because you were full of deceit, because you thought you knew what you do. We're not above the Most High, family. Rock 317. This is maybe a short class. I ain't trying to go long today. I'm just trying to get my bearings back again, fam. I'm just glad to be back on. Glad to share a class with you. Rock 317. My son, go on with thy business in meekness. You see, that's what's required. Go in meekness in your business. Thou shalt be beloved of him that is approved. So then, guess what? Most High, he sees your work. He sees your sincerity. He sees the detail, the work in the detail. The work is in the detail, family. That's the hardest part. In the detail. It's so hard to be detailed. And not being exact, like detail where you're overwhelming yourself. But I'm saying when it comes to the things that are needed, the daily habits that you have to create to change. That's why it says, my son, go on with thy business in meekness, in discipline, fam. So thou shalt be beloved of him that is approved. When you discipline yourself, there's persistence. When you discipline yourself, there's a daily work. You do it every day. You work on those things every day. You get rid of those things every day. You improve on your own and yourself every day. You see your errors in how you dealt with your family every day, how you dealt with your brethren every day, how you dealt with work every day, or decisions that you made. If you don't examine and have meekness in this walk, because there's so much involved, you're going to be lost. You'll be undisciplined. You'll be chaotic. You won't balance your money right. You'll overspend. You'll have argumentative problems with your wife. Your kids won't listen. Your family won't even hearken. And you'll just be full of problems internally. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, God, why me? No, you know why? You know why you? Because you didn't examine. You didn't go in this business in meekness. You went in it without any vision. It's a cool thing. Nah, man. Change is hard, fam. This walk, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's just, these are facts. 1 Peter 5 and 6, humble yourselves unto the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. You see, that due time, you don't know. You don't know. That's why, as you're working towards all these things, right? You're humbling yourself. You're really working on those things, right? Guess what? You don't know when that time is. And that's when it requires patience. It requires patience, fam. Verse 6, casting all your cares upon him, for he cares for you. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. In this persistence, in this walk, you also got to do that daily. You cannot stop praying to the Most High. You cannot put it to the side one day. I'll pray later. No. If you're battling prayer or wanting to pray or needing to pray, you need to pray. I'm going to tell you right now. And if you ain't fasting, do it, please. And I'm telling myself. Because in this walk, in order to be persistent, verse 8, be sober, be vigilant. That's why you have to have a vision, you have a plan, you have to be persistent, you have to do it every day. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, is a roaring lion walking about seeking whom he may devour. That's his job. Idleness destroys you. The moment you stop working on yourself, it destroys you. Idleness is the opposite of persistence. And idleness only happens when you're distracted, when you think you got it, when you've exalted yourself, when you are not meek or humble and saying, you know what, man, I don't got it. I don't know crap, man. I may know this verse, may know that, but I don't know crap no matter what. At the end of the day, fam, we're all human beings here. Some of us can sit here and say, yeah, I know the Bible, but you know what? Y'all don't know the Bible. It's like, I don't know the Bible. I may know the Bible, but thoroughly, like the Most High, like the Messiah, nah, man. We're all reading this in part. We're doing our best to understand the scriptures. Ain't no camp out here to tell you they got 100% truth. And if they do, then they're the Messiah. So what can we do? We have to be sober, vigilant. Because we know that the adversary, the devil, he's a roaring lion. As a roaring lion, he's looking around, fam, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. Because guess what? That's his job. It says, verse 9, whom resisted steadfast in faith, knowing that the same affliction are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. See, we all are going through this. Yeah, you know, Mexico, I appreciate that, man. I saw that. My bad, bro. I was in my class. Somewhere rerun for me. I'm a rerun for others. The path is the same. None have a monopoly to the truth. That's right, man. The Most High leads all souls according to what their vessels can hold. That's true, man. He will never put nothing above your measure. But that's when you got to hold on tight, fam. You got to hold on tight. Because just when it seems like, oh, my God, I'm drowning. I can't. He's right there, fam. But you got to be persistent. You got to be persistent. Got to be persistent. I'll show you this video real quick. I like it. And I found it interesting as to what happens when, let's say the plans don't work out. All right? Let's just listen to it real quick.
Minor bit of chaos, because that's what happens when your perceptual set, the structure that you're using to organize the world, the plan through which you're viewing the complexity of the world reveals an inadequacy, then that destabilizes your emotion. You need to be going somewhere, and there needs to be a pathway in order for you to feel good. The other thing to know is that if that plan is untenable or becomes destabilized, then what happens is you become flooded with negative emotion. Frustration, disappointment, anger, primarily anxiety. But all of those things sort of intermingle. Anger maybe because you have to fight your way through the obstacle. Frustration because maybe you have to make a new plan. Disappointment because you put a bunch of work into the damn plan and it didn't work out. Anxiety because now there's too many choices in front of you. People don't like to have their plans disrupted. And the reason for that is that their plans are directly associated with their emotional perception of
all of the world, man. I liked how you explained it because, quite frankly, when you look at all of those things, right? When you look at all of those things, that's exactly what happens, fam. That's why we have to have an actual direction. We can't just sit around thinking that, nah, it ain't for me. You know, I know what I'm doing. I don't need a plan, man. What you talking about? But in all of that right there, and everything that happens, and everything that occurs, and all those issues, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Patience, fam. Sirach, chapter 38. Let me see, verse 10. It says here, leave off. I'm sorry. No, that's not it. Take what? What am I reading? Is it the right one? Oh man, I could have swore it was it, fam. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I shouldn't swear, my bad. Give me a second. Oh, okay. It's 20. Sirach 38:20 says, take no heaviness to heart. Drive it away. And remember the last end. Meaning cut it off. Take no heaviness, fam. Drive it away. And the way that you do that is also through patience. Persistence and patience. Take no heaviness to your issues, family. I'm telling you right now, because if you do, that'll destroy you. That's why you have to have patience. You got to have patience. Look what James says. Watch this real quick. Where you at, James? James 1:4, it says, but let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. You see, you got to let patience work itself, fam. You can't be afraid of patience. You can't be afraid of it. I know that sometimes instant gratification, I don't want to go through it now. You got to. Got to be patient. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God. Again, through wisdom, you gain patience because you know how to apply it, because wisdom has taught you experience. that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall go before him. So you can ask, fam. Be not afraid of it. But be mindful what you're asking for, because the Most High will provide it for you, but not the way you expect it. Go to Romans 5:3. I'm almost done. It's a short class. Like I said, man, I'm not going to keep you guys long. You know, it is edifying. If not, oh well. It is what it is, fam. You either hear it or you don't. Lord willing, it becomes edifying for me, and I can barely reflect on this class. Romans 5:3, it says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulation also. We glory in tribulation. How do you glory in trials? Think about that. How do you glory in trials? Because I don't say if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. But it sounds, it's as dumb as it sounds, it actually makes sense. Tribulation, glory in tribulation also. Knowing that tribulation worketh patience. So check that out. A lot of us don't have that, but it's so valuable in this walk. It's so valuable in this walk. And patience, experience. Because with patience, you learn how not to do that. But see, you don't avoid it. You confront it. You face it with patience. And when you face it with patience, it allows that experience to kick in. Because then you understand this is temporary. This too shall pass. And experience hope. And that's what it leads to. That all of it, now it's making sense. Wait, so my life don't have to be that chaotic. I don't really got to experience. No, man, you gotta endure it. Sirach 2:2. And hope, make it not ashamed of this walk. A lot of you get so fearful. A lot of y'all stop keeping the laws because something didn't work out or someone lied to you. Well, whatever the case may be, you go back to the world, you go back to your things, you're kind of reading the Bible, you're kind of not, but at the end of the day, guess what, man? You're ashamed. Because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. So if you're lacking patience, didn't go through the experience, you don't have any hope. Think about that. You need experience to have hope. You can't skip that. And you need patience to have experience. You can't skip that. And you need tribulation to have patience. You can't skip it. There's no other way to get around tribulation. In tribulation, we grow. In adversity is when we grow the most. In adversity, we grow the most. Romans 15:4. I'm almost done, fam. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience, meaning trials, and comfort of the scriptures, meaning the answers to these trials, how do I handle that, Father, might have hope and not being ashamed and continuing in this walk and becoming a better overall man or woman. Look at this. Now the God of patience, wow, and consolation grant you to be like-minded one towards another according to Christ Jesus. You see that? Now the God of patience. So now you understand why patience is key in this walk. The God of patience. The God of patience, family. Luke 21:19. That's why it says it here. In your patience, possess ye your souls. In your patience, possess ye your souls. So we talked about planning, talked about persistence. We talked about the issues that get in the way of persistence. We talked about what things need to be done in order for you to plan properly. Make sure you have a vision and that you're going to stick to it. That's what it requires, consistency and persistency. But that only works if you're examining yourself every day. That means you're working on it every day. And then after that, you develop patience. Once you develop patience, guess what? You learn experience, and through that, you get hope. That's all I got. That's all I can tell you about. All I got is hope. I have nothing else. I have to have it. I mean, y'all know my life. Whoever you talk to, you brothers and sisters, you brothers that talk to me, you know my situation, man. My family, my son, I know how. Hey, I don't got to say it again. We all got trials, but in your patience possess your soul. And I realize that if I lack patience, everything's overwhelming. That's why, man. In First Samuel, I'm almost done, fam. I just like I said, it's a short class, but Lord willing is very edifying. First Samuel 2:3, it says, talk no more exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogance come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. You see that, fam? Pride goeth before destruction. And pride comes with arrogancy. And when you're arrogant, that means you're in your ego. And when you're in your ego, you're not humble at all. At all. I'm gonna end it with this, fam. I end it with this scripture right here. Hopefully, y'all get it. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 19. Watch what it reads. It says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted thee, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time I will bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all the people of the earth. When I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. Judgment on Jerusalem and the nations. Conversion of the nations, Israel's joy and restoration, fam. So again, plan, be persistent, and have patience, man. And know that the Father has our back. I needed to be reminded of that. Sometimes, guess what? It happens to all of us, man. Shit. Excuse my language, but it just does. It just does. You know what I'm saying? Let's listen to that real quick, fam. Actually, no, I played it already. There's no need. But I'm gonna share this with y'all. One last thing. This guy makes sense in regards to like how anxiety works. This is why, family, when I'm talking about examining yourself, this is because it's important for us to help our children, our families, man. They're the ones that are suffering. We've caused all this chaos and stress in them. So now we got to change that. Listen to this.
Experts say it's the most heritable mental illness there is. And I say it's neither an illness, nor is it heritable. Difficulty paying attention, so kind of tuning out, poor impulse control, difficulty sitting still. If I were to stress you right now, what would be your options of dealing with that?
I could either get upset or I could leave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could fight back, flight or fight, yeah? But what if you didn't have those options?
Then you're stuck.
And now what does the brain do when you're stuck like that? It gets tunes out.
Yeah, it tunes out.
In other words, it's a coping mechanism. Infants can't help but absorb the stress of their parents.
Right.
All we could do is tune out. But when is this tuning out happening? When our brain is being developed, the most salient feature of the environment that shapes us is actually the relationship with the parents. If the parents are present and emotionally attuned, child brains develop properly. If the parents are stressed, the child absorbs the stress. What can they do with it? They tune out. And that tuning out thing is programmed into the brain, and then 10 years later we say, you got this disease. No, you don't. You've got a coping mechanism that's no longer working for you.
That family, that's why it's important to examine yourself, because we may be destroying our children and we don't even know it. We don't even know it. Anyhow, Lord willing, man, this was an edifying class. I kept it at 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High that, whoever brothers and sisters that were here. My apologies if I ignored some of your chats. I see there's only a few that actually did view it. All praises, man. Hey, it's of the Father, family. You guys ain't here for me. You're here for the word. So I appreciate you being here. Again, family, I love y'all very much, man. I know I haven't said that in a while, and I'm reminded of myself of the things that my blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, other than that, fam, shalom. I appreciate y'all being here. Other than that, let me go ahead and just kind of finish it with my video, and then we'll call it a night. All right. Again, Lord willing, this was edifying. I just wanted to do a short class. But other than that, y'all take care of yourselves, okay? Again, shalom, family.